Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Rising Star 2, and this is Everyone But Andy. And we have a gig on Friday, the 1st of December, so we're going to get right to it. I think we're kind of practiced up. We are. We've got one song that we're kind of working on. I think we're going to go ahead and write another song. When I'm learning songs, I like to actually have three going at the same time. That seems to be the most efficient right now for my levels. Eventually, what you can do is train three songs up 35 points. I don't know that you can do any better than that, but that tends to be where I end up landing a lot of times. And there we go. That wasn't so bad. We've been kind of working on rhythm quite a bit because that's where I'm most lacking. So toss another one of those in there and remember to work on those tomorrow. And let's see. I know there were some ones here at the top. Make that one a simpler one, and we can't do the threes. We can only do ones. I'm not seeing any more. Ones get harder to come by as you get further along in the game. So, all right, to construct a song, let's go with, you know what, we're going to go back to lyrics last. Let's see what we can do here. And I'm going to, the outside chance that we have 35s that we can use. Let's just try this. Oh my goodness, look at that. We can do a 95 quality song that is instrumental, and instrumental is a good thing right now. So let's do that. I didn't think to come up with song names for instrumentals. Just the hits. That's what we're going to call it. I don't know, just the licks. No, I don't like that either. Although it's probably the best idea I'm going to come up with while I'm thinking about it, of course. So we'll go with that and maybe change it in the future. But now we have two songs to practice. We could get the one done today. Let's go ahead and go for that. So this one we should be able to finish and have for our gig on Friday. Let's go with it. There is one day of working them, and I do want to go ahead and merge again as mentioned. Whoops, got to be on the right page though. As mentioned, rhythms have been a little bit harder to come by, so we're going to make sure we keep those up to date as best we can right now. 35, so we can do 15s. Not really seeing any more to do. There's some threes. Where'd that go? There it is. We're going to reverse that one, and we can do that 10. We'll go with the 12 difficulty on that. We can do a couple of threes still and some ones. Well, looks like we've exhausted the rhythm items. Hopefully we get a few more ideas there. Here's some threes and any ones. Here's some ones. Okay, that was good. We'll go to practice, one more day of practice, and let's see what the month holds with regards to changes in attitudes. Instrumentals are still good. Spontaneity and technology still looks like it might be on the downside nationally. Best way to tell, I think, is if we come over here. We have somebody who has technology, and we don't anymore. Okay. I don't think it shows you if you try to change one. Yeah, it doesn't show you here, so we'll hold off on that. Make sure we know what those national attitudes are first. We can do that by going like to Illinois and then highlighting it and seeing what it says there, because last we checked, they were into hometown pride, and that's still the case. So maybe we can do that, but not right now. We have a gig to play. Let's do that. All the way over here on the east side of the town, and 9 songs, and that's what we have, but we want to try out our new one at the very least. And I think I had talked about really focusing on the songs that were had the highest, what's it called? Highest buzz. Unfortunately, this screen doesn't show you that. Can you? No, you can limit it by it, and you can do tags. I was wondering if there might be a way to pull that in here. There's not. That's okay. We could also just do straight popularity. I don't know. This is a bigger venue. Wouldn't hurt to kind of get people yelling and screaming a little bit, would it? let's go ahead and take that route today. We're going to go with playing our most popular songs, but we do want to toss that new one in there. So I'm going to clear the set list, and I want to get that one in there for sure. Yeah, and I was trying to remember if there was another one I kind of wanted to try out a little bit that was down here. I only played that one once. Let's go ahead and make sure we get that one in. So we want 2 reds, then a yellow, then a red. We'll probably save Melissa for last, though. We'll reorder them here in a minute. Yeah, let's go with that. And then let's see, there would be 2 more reds still. Let's go with Digital Dreams, although I think that one didn't really do great last time we played it, but that's okay. And let's do Born and Raised. So not exactly our top of the top songs, I suppose, but a good mix of them, and we do have a lot of those that should be really good. So here we go. Okay. Not a bad start. Of course, Melissa is going to drive the audience crazy, so that's always helpful, and we are definitely hitting 100% here, which was expected. We're playing some of our best songs. Sold out crowd, that's good. And let's see what we did. And new song ideas. Well, we were hoping for that, but also there's an experience hit for somebody. Level Up. Melissa, yeah, I mean, that's a big number. That's good. This is a big number. That's good. Kind of expected those, though, right? Price of Youth got a hit, though. Midnight Adventure, Letting Loose. Hey, Letting Loose. Was that our new song? Look at that. Letting Loose, a blue song, got some love. They even added some popularity to it. So Born and Raised, Simply Not Doing It. Digital Dreams, Not Getting It Done. Taking the Day. Yeah, you know. Okay, so we definitely have a stable of good songs, and we have songs that we know aren't going to last a really long time. Let's go ahead and level up here. So we're going to add 2 to stage presence. We're going to add 2 to playing and 1 to business. Yep, we'll do that for today. Head home, count our dollars. And I added a couple of those pictures, artwork that we bought last time. I went ahead and put a couple of those up. Shout out to Decathlon Gamer there. And all right. We have 1 to practice. We don't have anything lined up right now. You know what? I think maybe it's time to go ahead and let him widen the net some and go all the way up to 300, right? I suppose that's fine. Let's see what he comes up with, but we are going to change the minimum gig size. Let's make it over 700. And my thought for over 700 is that tends to mean we'll be playing in theaters, the largest venues, and that should help some. Let's see what happens. Probably get to, open for some really top end bands is what I'm hoping that will mean. All right, so developing song ideas. Well, hey, here's some ones, but we're going to come to them last. Let's go look at those blues again. This is where we are weakest right now still. Just not a whole lot to choose from. That's working. Okay. Yep, I'm not seeing any more, though. I think we've merged everything up there I'm calling this blue. I hope that's right. Usually where I fall down is melody, and we've been doing really well at keeping up on those this time around. I think I kind of was intentionally starting at the bottom more often than I used to, and that certainly has been helpful in making sure we get those driven up. There we go. That wasn't bad at all. Since we don't have anything scheduled, you know what? Let's we already played tonight, right? Yeah, we played today. So it is nighttime. There isn't a gig we can go see, but we can do one tomorrow night. I'm going to try to remember to do that. And we're going to go ahead and write a song. We'll have a few days to work on those. Where do we want to start? Why don't we start with Topher with one of his 20s here in the middle. We'll go to melody. Kiwi has some 25s. We have some 15s. It'd be great once we have a lot of 35s to work with, just in different areas. It's a lot easier to just sort of fall into really good quality songs. And that will happen someday. It just isn't today for us. It wouldn't hurt for me to be a little more intentional on what I get rid of and recycle. Probably could stand to do that a little more frequently. Do we have a 35? We don't have a 35 here that we can use. We have a 25. That'll get us to 85. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. This is Spontaneity. I don't know if I jotted down any names for Spontaneity songs. Maybe I did. All right, let's go with No Looking Back. Probably be the best song we ever write. Okay, it is Saturday night. We said we would try to catch a gig. Let's do that. Let's hit somewhere where we need some reputation. I don't remember if we get reputation for just attending at these. I think we do. We'll go there, exit. We're well off enough now. We can chauffeur pretty much anytime we want to go somewhere. So there we go. It's the top level ones that don't give you any reputation, and they don't show any reputation, so that makes some sense. You don't see it, so don't expect it. When you're on the calendar, that is. All right. The Puzzled Societies. New song ideas, happiness, inspiration, reputation. That's what we were kind of hoping for there, so that's great. Spend some money, get some rep. I halfway remember we were looking to see what the impact was at something, and I forgot to double check it after my last set of videos. And it's too late now, and I don't remember what it was anyway. So, okay, we're going to go home. Let's write another song. Like I said, I like to do them in threes when I can. Develop some ideas. We got some new song ideas, so let's go back and look at these blues again. It's possible we have something new, although I'm not seeing anything. Nope. All right, we'll go with some reds. Here we go. Just trying to balance some difficulties. We're still not quite good enough where we can just do whatever we want. But I tend to like more difficult over less difficult. It gives you options for when you're really trying to chase those awards. And I am not chasing the awards this year. I don't think I've ever won an award in my first year. Maybe I don't think I have though. Down to 11 points, so we can do a couple of threes. Here we go. And then we can do some ones. Plenty of threes to do. There's a one. Oh, let's go with Lost. We don't have a lot of Lost song parts up here, so. Okay. Let's try to hit top quality this time. Let's go with Coming of Age. And maybe save that one. Let's go with this. Here we'll hit 75. If we can find a 25 down here. There's a 20. No 25s that we can access just yet. What if we kill that? Pick that up. Can we get a 35 lyric? We can. There, it was just the other one. It was the next one over. There's 100%. Technical. It's a technical song, but that's okay. Coming of Age. Let's go ahead and stick with high. That Well, you know what? I was noticing some of our yellows really don't do a lot for people, do they? And as a instead of learning to fly, we're going to do learning to drive. I'm trying to think. Is that Foo Fighters? Goo Goo Dolls, one of those bands from the 90s that I used to love, and I can't remember which one, but there we go. We'll go with that. It's written. Ozzy Osbourne's birthday. Okay, well, happy birthday, Ozzy. Triple experience today on a Sunday. Yep. Hey, we climbed a little bit. Well, we played a couple of gigs, sold a couple of records. There we go. I still call them records. Isn't that hilarious? Boy, oh boy. Okay, hopefully Kelvin has something for us. And he does. Ooh, that is a nice one. We're taking that. Next Saturday, we'll need to check out what the attitudes are in Indianapolis, but we can make that work, I'm sure. Kansas City, we're pretty familiar with what's going on there. That's next month, though. That's more than 4 weeks out. It's a headlining slot. Awesome. We're taking that. Memphis next week. Yeah. We'll take that. We'll take that. That's an opening gig. Still getting paid pretty well for it. Okay. Now I'm going to be a little more picky. I don't know what Louisville is looking like. That's next week as well. We'll go ahead and take it, but I think I'm going to start to slow down a little bit. Here in St. Louis, the Duck Room with the Quiet Snakes. I think we played with them recently, didn't we? Oh, and that's just in a couple of days. That's Wednesday. Yeah, let's do that. I'll take that one. And then I think maybe we're going to shoot him down from this point out. Although I wouldn't mind playing in Carbondale again. Monday the 18th. Yep. We'll take that one. But now I really am. I'm going to keep giving pretty good options here. But we're going to say no. We're going to shoot these down for now. There's a 20,000 one. We'll probably take that. I think it generally does it based on venue capacity. I think it starts with the biggest ones and then it goes down. And I suppose that makes some sense. You'd probably prefer to play a big one and you'd rather have picked a big one to learn later that you'd picked a small one and there would have been a big one available. That might not be very user-friendly. So I don't think we're going to see anything larger at this point. Also, didn't we tell him to limit it to above 700? But that's okay. Yeah, and it was like, didn't we pick 850 or something weird like that? Oh, it didn't update. Well, shame on me. I wonder what I did there. I'm sure somebody will tell me in the comments. But yeah, I messed that one up. I changed the mileage. I forgot. I didn't hit okay, I guess, maybe. I don't know. That should help with that. But okay, well, we have a disjointed schedule now, but we have a schedule, and that is prime. So let's see what we have. 3 songs to practice and a few that are starting to age. We're going to have to hit everything. We'll hit everything. Let's hit everything today so they don't continue. The one problem is, you're splitting your total points, and right now we have less than 100 total points. I have 30 songs, so each song is going to get no more than 3 points at it. We're probably okay. Everything should get 2. We definitely have 60 points coming. So that's fine, but these numbers will continue to fall. So now if they fall 2 more points, I suddenly have to do them twice, not just once. So we're going to go ahead and hit everything today once. And it looks like these 2 songs won't be ready for Wednesday, but we'll have them for the weekend. And then we can start practicing these. And I should probably merge song parts, but let's just get through this. Oh, and he's coming back with more. 5,000 folks next Thursday, not this Thursday, in Tennessee. Yeah, we'll take that. But I think that's going to do it. Yeah, we're going to say no for these. He also doesn't really love it when you tell him no. So I probably should turn this off for a while. Okay, well, we did get some XP. I think if you at least tell him 1 yes, he's pretty cool with that. But usually it's wise to go ahead and tell him to do nothing. I like to set him to find product endorsements because why not? It doesn't cost me anything. I can use them. I don't have to use them. totally up to me. And we can see what we have in endorsements right here. We don't actually have a lot. The best one is Gibson. $9 per thousand in the audience. Current per gig, current per item. Okay. Interesting. I'm not quite sure what the difference is. Does it say down there? Included in the current and per gig value. Both playing and business skills contribute to endorsements. Only equipment that is in performing configurations are included. All right, well, that's fine. I'm not quite sure I understand what the difference is. This would be per item I'm using, I would think. And this is per gig I do. I don't know. We'll see if we can get some good math on that in the future. There we have it. So we can practice one more time. I did want to see what, wasn't it? Well, we're going to Indiana, we're going to Kentucky, we're going to Tennessee. Let's see what those look like right now. Indiana is deliberation versus spontaneity. Okay, that's good to know. Kentucky, deliberation, interesting. And serious versus carefree, I think is what Tennessee would be. So we will have to be a little mindful, but we should be okay. We have 30 songs to pick from. We should be okay. Practice these one more time, and then let's go play here at the Duck Room, which is becoming it's practically a standing gig for us at this point. In the St. Louis area, there is a venue called the Duck Room. It's part of, I believe it's part of Blueberry Hill, and my understanding was until just about a year before his death, Chuck Berry would play there pretty much monthly. I think it was like every third Thursday of every month he was there, something like that. Oh, what did I do? I'm gonna go play that gig. I hit the wrong button. That's what I did. X and C being next to each other, that could have been dangerous. Okay, let's go ahead and try out our new song. I did mean to move Melissa closer to the bottom. I like to end big. Let's take Born and Raised off the books. We'll put this one on. We'll put it second. Price of Youth hasn't been doing great. Yeah, but I think we're okay. Learning to Drive isn't ready. Earth's Lament, we could maybe taking the day off and give that one a try again. The order here doesn't matter quite so much if I do it here or here because the points end up being the same either way. So we'll go this way. I a lot of times will put a blue song in here instead of the yellow, and that makes it a no-brainer. We'll make it to the end, and I'll usually put it here. So, but I'm kind of trying to see if I can push the envelope here a little bit. How many times has this song been played? Only 1,000 times. We should give that one a try too. Maybe we'll take Who Is Jessica down. We know that's a great song. We'll use that one when we're traveling, but let's try out The Last Glacier up there. And if it totally flops, well, it flops. We've only played it for 1,000 folks. Let's hope we get at least that many tonight. I think we're ready to go. The crowd goes wild. Okay, full house. That's great. It's good for the ego, if nothing else, right? Playing in front of empty seats is always a little trying. And we did it, but we did run out of energy there at the end, but I don't think we're penalized for that in this case. Okay. They still love the song, even though they ran out of energy. We gained some popularity. That's what it's all about. We want to continue doing that. Hey, Just the Licks got a couple of hits there. That's good. It doesn't look like it's going to be a sensation, but that's okay. It got loved. Excellent. Last Glacier, no, it's not doing it. We're going to get rid of that one. I mean, this was probably one of the friendlier audiences, so we're going to drop that one. We'll hang on to these for now. Digital Dreams is on an album. We would only be able to archive it, but I think we're going to go ahead and do that. Up our game just a little bit. So archive, cut. That's what I'm going to do here. I generally like to have about 18 to 24 playable songs, depending on what the attitudes are like nationwide. Got to hit the right keys to go to the right places. Okay. And we have 30. I mean, part of the thing is I just don't feel like I can manage 30 songs at once. And I've already forgotten which ones. It was Last Glacier we're going to kill, and Matt will give us a couple of good song ideas back. That's good. That's why you do it. You know, it's not gonna make you millions. You can axe it. Get something that will. That's the way I look at it. Okay, Digital Dreams, we're just archiving that one. It's on Eclipses. That's part of the reason we kept it around. We kept a lot of the Eclipses song around to kind of help promote album sales there. But as you can see, we've only really played it in front of 15,000 people, come to think of it, but still. It does meet my criteria, right? It's doing pretty well there, but we're going to go ahead and maybe I need to start reconsidering what that criteria is. Maybe it needs to be a little closer. I was doing like one point per thousand, 1/100th of a point per thousand exposures. And maybe we need to rethink that. I think early in the game that works. I think we're kind of getting to the middle-ish part where might need to be a little more discerning of that. So we'll archive this one, and there we go. We're down to 28 songs. 2 ready to go here. We can practice those one time, and we are good to go. We can even write a song in the meantime. Okay. Got to get all the way in there, though, and develop some ideas. Lots of 3s up here. Okay. Let's go look at those blues again. There's one. I have to hold very still to see if they're moving or not. It's a little silly. Not seeing any more. Let's go ahead and merge those. Climate change seems to be neutral most places nowadays. We'll go ahead and create a couple of those, and let's come look down here. Take the 1s. Get some 6s in there. And we're down to 9. We can do some 3s. And we have some 3s to do. There we go. And then those 1s. Okay, that worked out well. Let's start right here with Topher. And we could do another Topher. We have some good Kiwi parts here too, though. I think I want to hold on to that. Let's see if we can drive that up a little more. Let's go with this one. Do an all Topher song. We do need to work on his lyrics, though. A 61, I think I'd rather bump that up a little more than that. Maybe we go with Hometown Pride and make it a 90. I'm good with that. And yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll keep it a high energy song called Local Legend after John. Well, maybe not after John, but okay. Calvin earned a lot of money last month, and he was happy. What I think this is telling us. Effectively, we didn't have to pay him a penalty for not making him enough money. And I think that's the thing I'm really trying to avoid. So, all right, well, we're going to practice these, have them ready, and I think we'll go ahead and refresh everything because we do have a long stint of shows next week. We will practice this up. There we go. Oh, didn't quite get there, did we? Well, I kind of want to go ahead and make sure those get there. And we are pretty okay with everything else. I think we'll just go ahead and practice these again. It's a little bit wasteful. Wouldn't hurt to toss 1 or 2 more in there, but we've played a bunch of these. I think we're in okay shape. Here we go. We have to go to Indianapolis today. Let's do it. Indianapolis, home of deliberation. So we'll need to pay attention to that. Yes, we do. And we will go ahead and chauffeur. I was trying to decide if there was a music store or something. There's one way up here. I think we'll hold off though. And, oh, we're only playing 6 songs anyway. So let's toss our new ones in there. those four, and then we are going to want two others. We will end with, you know what? Let's rock their faces off. Go with those two to end it. And then we set this up. Usually I like to go like that. Could swap these two. I know a little bit about, there's very little chance that it's going to make a difference. I don't think we're going to get to 100%, at least not before this song. So I think either way would be fine. Let's go with this though. We're making $4,800 for this one. So let's make it good. $12,000. All right. Not bad. Too bad it wasn't $10 a seat, right? We'll get those eventually. Yeah, audience. Well, we did not get there, did we? I have a feeling they didn't like these new songs. Got paid pretty well. What are we getting endorsements? 190? Yeah, I'll have to see if I can figure out what that formula is with those two columns of numbers. It's not jumping out at me what that would mean. So, okay, Just the Licks did well. Separate Fruit did well. Smirk and Oppose, we expect it. Letting Loose, awesome. I'm pretty pleased with that. 5 of our 6 songs did well. Wow, Learning to Drive did not. Oh, and I forgot. Okay, so this one's on me. I forgot to check the attitudes, and I knew I had a spontaneity one out there, and I think that's what this was. So, my bad. I cost us probably 10, maybe as many as 10 points there. They loved this one. So we'll see. High song quality helped garner some applause. Yeah, I didn't even check on this one, but it did not do well at all. 4 points. That's really, really bad, actually. So, okay, well, we know. We're going to head back. Probably be an overnight trip. Days go by, and there. See, this is what I missed that one week. I didn't see that when we got home, this was happening. And I just clicked on this and kept on talking and didn't pay attention. So we fell 2 positions, which means we sold 1,700. Not bad. I'd like to keep that number a little higher than that, but that's okay. I don't think this one's going to go gold. I can say that with some confidence. This one is not going to go gold. We don't have any requirements right now. When did we release that one? We have to wait a year. So we can't release anything until next September. Not an official full album, at least not on contract. We could release one on our own, and that's fine, but we won't see this kind of distribution if we do. We just won't. Unless we're hugely popular, it's not going to garner much attention. So we can, we'll hold off, and we'll get a good sampling of songs that we can really go with before we do that. Okay, well, I think that's going to do it for this week. I'm going to go ahead and save. And although it did just save, we have the auto save. I like to just make sure I have it in a couple of places, though. I do thank you for your time this time. And we'll pick up right here in the next episode. Thanks. And until then, fair travels.